Welcome back to Mewni Mayhem on the Roundtable. I'm AwestruckVox, and now that we're approaching the end of the year, 2019 is just around the corner, which means Star vs. the Forces of Evil Season 4 is just around the corner, hopefully. The only thing we got for a return date was 2019, but I'm hopeful that'll be January or February. And I mean, accounting for all the sneak peeks and tremendous hiatus we've had, I'm hopeful that quite a bit of episodes are ready, and that they'll roll them out shortly after the ball drops. That being said, I want to ease back Star content into the channel consistently. We started covering content from the Book of Spells a month back, and that's what I'm here to continue. The Mewni hype train never stops. Choo-choo! But since we're talking about Star Season 4, speculating all about it, we need to revisit an old topic. Who is going to be the main villain? This is something I'm going to have to split up into multiple topics, but there's an old suspect that we need to actually cross off our list. Globgor, Eclipsa's monster love. There's actually a lot more to this character than meets the eye, and since I swore up and down in the past that he would become the main antagonist, I need to take the L and eat my words. Now, of course, spoiler warning for Star's Book of Spells. If you have not read this book and it's available where you live, go out, buy it, import it if you have to. It's worth the $20. Alright, let's continue. So, Eclipsa and Globgor's relationship actually began way back when Eclipsa was a child. During her mother's rule on Mewni, Solaria the Monster Carver, Eclipsa begged her mother to tag along to a conference with the leader of the Monster Horde, aka what we could assume to be Globgor's father. Despite Solaria's refusal, Eclipsa got out. While Solaria was dealing with tensions between monsters and humans, Eclipsa found herself in the company of what Solaria described to be the clutches of an evil monster, hell-bent on her destruction. In Solaria's eyes, Eclipsa was kidnapped, and in Solaria's own words, had she not been overwhelmed with shock to end the horrid monster's life, the monster wouldn't have been able to escape. And according to Solaria, Eclipsa spent the rest of the day in tears. So what was the real story? Well, this monster that kidnapped Eclipsa, as you guys may have figured out, was actually Globgor, the Prince of Darkness. After this event, him and Eclipsa never actually stopped seeing each other. As we learn in Eclipsa's chapter, the two began to leave secret messages, trying to maintain their relationship during the monster-human war. Now, Eclipsa has dated a lot of monsters, but Globgor truly had her heart. Unfortunately, someone else is pining after Eclipsa's heart, her future husband Shastacan. Long story short, a marriage was arranged between Eclipsa and Shastacan, and although he was completely smitten with Eclipsa, she did not feel the same way. She just wanted it to be her and Globgor. And in Eclipsa's own words, things became problematic. Shastacan began to feel entitled. He began to make demands, pushing Eclipsa further and further away. So when Eclipsa confessed her love of Globgor to Shastacan, he was shocked. And when Eclipsa explained that their love could bring peace between humans and monsters, he laughed and called her a foolish child. Eventually, Globgor gets promoted up in the ranks of the monster army, a leadership role. And he decided to move the army to a place that we would eventually come to know as the Monster Temple. And he wanted Eclipsa to come with him. However, Eclipsa didn't want to betray the kingdom, but Globgor stated she already did that by loving him. But Globgor also showed her the bright side. He reminded her that his people don't blame her for the sins of her ancestors, that Eclipsa would be welcome among them, at least for the time being. Eventually, she would have to pick sides. But ultimately, Globgor and his people, his army, they wanted peace and coexistence between humans and monsters, a common objective that we know Star Butterfly shares in the series proper. However, there were factions out there, factions who wanted complete annihilation of the humans and destruction of humans' magic. Eclipsa made her decision. She left with Globgor, both of them longing for coexistence and peace. Globgor isn't this heartless, evil, ruthless monster. He's a lover, yet he cares for his people. And in the final page of Eclipsa's chapter that has to be decoded as is written in Lore Mewman, she states, "Tonight I make my escape to the future queens who inherit this book. I hope that time will show my decisions were just and right. I don't know what the future holds for this kingdom, but it's clear the mounting tensions between the monsters and humans are at their peak. I know it seems like I am only thinking of myself in the decision, but maybe it benefits the kingdom too." Eclipsa was lost. She wanted peace, but she didn't know how to achieve it. But Globgor had a plan. A plan where hopefully no one had to be hurt. But something got in the way. A certain group of monsters that we'll talk about in a separate episode. But for now, I can only imagine how Globgor will behave once he's unleashed from his crystal. I don't see him going on a rampage or being aggressive. However, he's going to wake up in a very stressful and intense time for Mewni. a time that may not be all too different from when he was frozen. The peaceful monsters, those who just wanted to be accepted and live in peace, they're gone. They left at the end of Season 3. Eclipsa may have the throne again, but Mewni detests her. They detest Star and River. What threatened Eclipsa and Globgor's objective in the old days could make a return very soon. The true villain of Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Someone we're all too familiar with, yet know nothing about. But I think I'll stop there. What do you guys think? Did you have a feeling Globgor wasn't truly evil, or does this information surprise you? Let us know in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts to me at AwestruckVox, or at Roundtable Vids. We're also on Instagram. If you want to help the Roundtable grow, support us on Patreon. Get access to exclusive perks, and your name could be at the end of the video. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like, share, and if you're new here, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications to stay in the loop with all things Steven. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. AwestruckVox, out.